Concerns of retaliation and this war escalating are huge, especially closing of the Strait of Hormuz by Iran is something that it would be extremely dangerous and not good for anybody.
Well, let's cross live then to Brussels, talk to our correspondent Dave Keating, who joins us from there. Dave, first of all, how is Europe reacting to all this at the moment? Is Europe very much out of the equation, would you agree?
Yeah, it's been a very mixed reaction here, but in the end, I'm not sure that it actually matters. What we heard from Kaja Kallas, they're coming in here to the European Council headquarters where the EU national foreign ministers are meeting, is a mixed response. Everyone is calling for restraint, particularly they're calling on Iran not to make a major response to the U.S. bombing. But some EU countries are more supportive of the Israeli and U.S. bombing than others. Germany, for instance, has been supportive. Already last week, German Chancellor Friedrich Merz came out saying that Israel was doing the dirty work for Europeans by eliminating Iran's nuclear program, or trying to eliminate it. And that's really the difficulty here, because Europeans, not only have they been very concerned about the potential for Iran developing nuclear weapons, Iran has also been supporting Russia in the Ukraine war. So Iran is obviously an adversary, an enemy, and so an attack on Iran, it's difficult to come out and condemn that. But at the same time, there had been great hope here after reports said that the Trump administration was maybe trying to copy the JCPOA. That was the treaty between the U.S., EU, and Iran that eliminated its nuclear ambitions during the Obama administration. Donald Trump ended that treaty during his first term. The Europeans tried to keep it going without the U.S. It didn't work, and Iran started its enrichment again, according to all reports. And so there was hope that maybe there was a diplomatic solution here. That is the way things seem to be moving. And then Israel launched. There's no hope of that now. And so the Europeans now don't really have much of a role. They had a role when there was the prospect of a diplomatic solution. Now we're unlikely to see any unified response coming out of this foreign ministers meeting here in Brussels, because they're so divided, but also because there just isn't that much they can do.
Dave, meanwhile, foreign ministers are meeting today amid fears, of course, if Iran retaliates, European countries could be dragged further into the conflict.
Exactly, and you heard that concern expressed by Kaja Kallas when she was coming in, precisely about the closing of the Strait of Hormuz. That would have a devastating impact economically on Europe, and it might mean that Europe is expected to make some kind of response along with the United States to stop that blockade. Certainly, if that blockade goes ahead by Iran, the United States is likely to respond, and Europeans would likely be called to back up the United States in that operation. The question, of course, is whether the Europeans will be willing to do that. Of course, they will want to see an end to that blockade because it would have devastating effects here, but at the same time, there will be huge reluctance to get involved with the United States in a war in the Middle East yet again. That has not gone well in the past. It is not popular with citizens, and particularly with this regime in the United States, it would not be a good look for European governments to be cooperating with Donald Trump on this to their citizens.
Dave, thanks very much. Dave Keating, our correspondent, joining us there from Brussels.